This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So email in Apex, yes, we have seen inbound email, and we are going to see outbound email service. So outbound email service is nothing but sending email from Apex. Okay, so this outbound email service, we are going to see how to send email from Apex. So from the class, from the Apex class, we can build the content of the email. We can build the content of the email. So basically, what we are going to do, we are going to set the parameters for the email class. So we have predefined classes. For that class, we are going to set parameters. The parameters will be to address, CC address, BCC, subject, the content of the email, right? The content of the email. The content can be a plain text or HTML type of the content. It means the content can be formatted, not in plain text. I can bold the letters, I can send it in color form. The HTML code you can include the content. So when the mail is when the mail is delivered, the content will be replaced with HTML tag. Okay, plain text, and you can do the attachment, and we can send email based on email template also. Okay, instead of making our own content, we can also send based on email template also, predefined email template, right? The email template can also be accessed programmatically. If you see any email template, we have a unique name for the email template, unique name, right? So this can be programmatically referred in the Apex, so that we can also send a message based on email template from the Apex. Okay, so sending email from Apex to outside of Salesforce org, which is called outbound email service. So what are the steps involved? How many ways I can send? There are two classes, predefined email classes are there to send email from the Apex. There are two predefined classes: single email message class, mass email message class. There are two classes. Any of these classes can be used. The classes belongs to the namespace messaging. Namespace is a kind of a library or package, you can say. Okay, so a single email message or mass email message. There are two classes, predefined classes, using which we are going to send email from the Apex. So these classes contains the parameters and instant methods. Using those methods, we are going to set all these parameters: to address, from address, right? CC address, reply to, sender name. So every parameters, to send email, there are some parameters mandatorily we have to set. There are some parameters optionally you will set, right? When you send email, the subject is optional, attachment is optional, right? So, but the to address or CC address and BCC address. So any of the address, at least one address is mandatory. Like that, the class contains the parameters. We are going to set all those parameters with the help of these class methods and the variables. Okay, so any of these classes can be used. Single email message, mass email. We'll see the difference later. We'll start with the single email message. right? Right, listen, the first step, we are going to create an instance of this class. The first step, we are going to create an instance of this class. So we are going to create like this. The instance is created. Step 2, okay, we have an instance. So this class contains lot of parameters, a lot of parameters and methods. If you check this class, so I have a class single email message. It's a class, belongs to namespace messaging. What is the use of this class? It has methods. It has methods to set parameters for your email, to build your email. Okay, so it contains email properties. It contains email properties. Scroll down. It has a setter method, right? Setter method, set BCC address. So where you can pass a list of BCC address. Okay, so these are all these are all basically instance methods. So we have created instance now. We have created instance now. Then we can access these instance methods. Email one dot set BCC address. If you click on this method, you'll come to know the return type of the method. So what is the method is accepting? The method accepting string of addresses. A string of addresses. Okay. So maximum total of 2 address and CC address, BC address altogether you are going to set 150 email. Okay, we have other method as well, to address, CC address. Okay, and we have a size also. We cannot, okay, either it's go to maximum 150, or if it reaches 4000 bytes, so those are the limits. Those are the limits. Okay, so you can pass a list of addresses in the form of string to this method to set BCC address. Similarly, if you see the set to address, am I right? We will follow this. So what is the next step? Using instance methods, build the email parameters. So this is where you are going to build the email parameters, such as subject, body, all those parameters we discussed, subject, attachment, everything, body. Okay, to address, BCC address, etc. Right. What are the methods we have? Some of the methods: set to address, right? The set to address accepting a list of, even if you are going to send only email to one person, we are going to pass that in the form of in the form of string only. Example, if I'm going to send email to, all right, then now we are going to set email1 dot set to address. So what is the argument you will pass? You'll pass this argument, two addresses. That's it. Okay, now the two address is set. It is equivalent to you give the two address in your email composer, right? Email composer. It is equivalent to setting the address. You give the address in the to address bar. Similarly, by using the instance methods, we set the address. Some of the important methods. Okay. And we have set CC address. We have set CC address. Right? Set CC address. And we have set BC address. Am I right? Set BC address and all those address fields will set. Right. What are the other methods we have? I have set reply to. If okay, if the user receive the email and they can reply to, they can click on a reply, then automatically a reply will send to this email ID optionally. Okay, so this email ID you can set to specify the reply to email. Send sender display. Okay, I think that method is not given. Single email message. Set subject is also a method. So what is the subject? Okay. Similarly, listen here. I'm going to set the subject. Some subject, right? You can set. Okay. Right. What are the important thing? The body of the email. The body can be set with a plain text body. There is a method called plain text body. So here we are going to, as a string, we are going to pass a string of the argument is you are going to pass in the form of string. So whatever email content, okay. Something like this. Then email one dot set plain text body email dot. Right, like this. We have some methods to set the parameters. Right. So step one, create an instance, and using that instance, we have predefined instance methods. Using those instance methods, we set all the email parameters. Step three, we are going to add the instance of single email message. Okay. True. as an element, to the as an element to the uh, array of email class, as array of email class. So there is a class, predefined class called email, belongs to the namespace again messaging. Okay, array of email class. So I'm going to declare an array, okay, as an element to this array, emails new. How will you initialize array? Similar to your list only. It can go with list or array. Both are is okay. You can go with the list of messaging that email or array of messaging that email. Whatever is fine. If it is array, then open close bracket, then parenthesis. So what you are going to pass here? One instance, email one, right? Email one. If you have multiple instance of single email message, okay. Suppose I have a different body for no for to send email. I have different types of body. Then we have to build those many single email instance. Am I right? Because every email address you are going to pass here. Suppose I am going to pass here in another email ID. So both this email address, right? Both these two address is going to have the same body, the similar body only, right? In case if you are going to have a different email content, and different set of two address, okay, different email content basically, then what you'll do, you'll build those many instances, email one, email two, like that, okay. So those email instances you are going to pass as an argument, as an element to the array of messaging dot single email. You are building the you have built the email content now, okay. So you just make the array of single email message instance, then finally we are going to push the email to the queue. Push the emails, right? Whatever emails you created in the step 3 to the queue. Why I'm mentioning is that the queue, because email is not an immediate action. Whenever you send email to from your mailbox, that is not the immediate action, right? Sometimes the email is delivered in the next minute. Sometimes it takes time, so it goes to the queue. Depends upon the availability of the resource, the email will be triggered. So how to push the emails to the queue? How to push the email to the queue? There is a class called messaging. The class contains instant method. The class contains instance method called send email. Push the email to the queue by using a send email method, where you will pass an argument of array of messaging.email class. Okay, so push the email to the queue using the static method send email belongs to predefined class messaging. Okay, that's what we did here. So what is the syntax of the um, send email? So basically it requires this type of argument. Example we have seen. Is clear to all of you? Everyone is clear? Is clear to all of you? There are 4 steps we follow, right? Create instance of single email message. The similar procedure will also follow for your mass email as well. Okay, we'll see the differences when you'll go for a mass email message compared to single email message. Okay, you create instance, then using instance methods of this class, we set the parameters of the email. Then that single email message instances you are passing you set as an element of the array of messaging that email class. Okay, So finally, you are going to push the email to the queue. That's the first step you have to follow. Okay, you are going to build all this inside Apex. Okay, you take any method inside the class. If you call that method, then the statement will execute. The email will be sent. Got me? Clear to all of you? Okay, let's take a quick example. Right. What is the first step now? The first step is to create an instance of the single email. Am I right? That's what I created. Step 2. Okay, using an instance method, build the email parameters. Got me? Right? So email one dot set to address. So a list of string you have to pass. So already build this. I take this. Okay. Right. Okay. I just given only two addresses. Two address in the two address. So like that, we are going to build different parameters. If you like to build, uh, the BCC address, yes, you can build list of email one dot set BC addresses. Okay, this is basically two address. Two address. Make sense? List of right, and then we are going to set the subject. So what else? Okay, we can go with the plain text. The plain text just will give the string. Okay, I'll give the HTML body so that so HTML body, we are going to build the HTML content in the form of string. Isn't here? HTML content. Right. We're going to build the content now. Am I right? So this will be in bold letter, right? This will be replaced in bold letter. and I would like to see, instead of going with the plain text, I'm trying to give okay. So I'm just going to give some HTML parameter. Right. So some of the things we build, okay, and set, right, send a display name. In what is a from display name? Okay, that name also you can set here, right? And then right, enough, I guess. We'll move on to the third step. The third step, we are going to do this. Add instance of single mail message. Add instance of single mail message to the array of messaging email class. So what are you going to do? Messaging dot email, an instance name, new. You can go with array or list, whatever. Okay, array or list. Messaging dot. Okay. It will avoid confusion. I'll just go with array only, list only. Email one, right? Only one instance we created. Now what is the step 4? Step 4 is used to push the email to the queue. That's it. Push the email to the queue. How we are going to push the email? Messaging. Messaging is the class. Send email. They're going to pass the list. That's it. People are good with the procedure. Everyone is good with the procedure, right? Take an instance, set parameters, add instance to the single email message array or list, then push the email to the queue. That's it. So how can I verify this? How can I verify this? Maybe you like to push from here, anonymous window. Okay. Right. So let's verify. Okay, I'm just verifying. Uh, I'm just verifying the two address slbcmeet@gmail.com. Yes, slbcmeet@gmail.com. Okay, HTML content, and I go to the another email ID. So got me, and the BCC email address. Yes, right. Everyone is able to follow this? It's good, all of you. Right. Now we are going to see how to how to attach how to attach the attachments in the email. We have seen how to send email. It's a plain text or HTML body. A plain text is nothing but just to have the content directly. That's it. In HTML, you have HTML tags, so that will be replaced, and the formatted text will be delivered. Okay, content will be delivered, replaced in the email content. Now we'll see how to go with attachments in the email. Right. So here too we have steps to be followed. If you see here, is using a previous email service you set for the input. No, 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 Vijay. That is inbound. That is entirely different. We are talking about outbound now. There is no relationship between inbound and outbound. Okay, outbound is a different process. We are going to build the email. So that is actually receiving the email. So that's not at all no relationship between inbound and outbound. This it's entirely different framework, different process. Okay, right. Whatever I discuss, this is where my process started. Okay, there is no connectivity between your inbound and outbound. People got this? How to send email from the Apex? That's what we are discussing now. Okay, our process started from here. Okay, there is no connectivity with your inbound email service here. It does not need any service. Exactly, we don't need any service. Okay, to send email from this org, um, the person who initiate this method. So I am the one call this method, right? If you notice here, I'm the one call this method. So I set the sender's display name, right? The sender's display name is not working for me because I'm going to send email to myself. So it coming as me. But what about when I send email to others? A queries to Ranjit. So this is not my user email ID. Okay. So you have a user email ID, right? I'm the one sending email. My email ID is sfdcmeet@gmail.com. If you go here, my email is sfdcmeet@gmail.com. So I'm sending email to myself, so the display name will not appear for me. So any email I send to send to other addresses, then I get display name. So we don't need any email service here. Okay, it's like I'm sending email. I'm sending email to from by using my email ID. My email ID. It's okay. It's similar to I'm using that my email as a service. We don't need any dedicated email service here. It's not required. Okay, outbound email, how to send email from Salesforce environment to external user or any internal user also. We'll see how to send the email to the internal user as well. Okay, when you send email to external email address, then there is a limits, right? Yeah, I will show you. There is a limit. What is the limit? Maximum you can set 150 email addresses altogether. If you go with only two address, a list of string, how many emails you can send? 150. If you all together is going to be 150. Got me? So maximum total of that email you can send. Right? So when you push email, to the queue, altogether it's going to be total 150 only. When you push email, right? I may create a number of instances, but altogether, all the instances, all the email address calculated together in one single email message, we are going to build 150 email only. We cannot push, many emails, only 150 emails. Okay, right. We'll go with the uh, how to send attachments. Right. When you send the attachments, if you see, there is a method called send file attachments. Send file attachments. So this is a method we are going to use to send email, to send attachments. So this is a method of, because we are talking about single email message, right? So using single email message, how we are going to send attachments, right? Method of single email message, set file attachments. If you see the set file attachments return type, uh, I mean argument, what type of argument it's expecting? It's expecting email file attachment. So what is the argument you're expecting? An array of email file attachment. So to send email using this method, before I send email, right? Set file attachments. I need argument. I need to build this argument. First, I have to build this argument. Okay. So then I can go with email one dot. Email one is nothing but instance of your single email dot set file attachments you'll do. But what type of arguments you need to build? Email file attachments array, right? So to understand this, we need to check what is this email file attachment. Email file attachment is a class belongs to messaging namespace. You see here, it's a class belongs to messaging namespace. It has a properties and a constructor. What is a property? What is a constructor? Okay, I just go with the property. The property is used to set a body, a name of the file. Body is nothing but a content of the attachment. Okay, so optionally the other things you will set. The required field is body and file name. So those things you are going to set here using the methods belongs to email file attachment, right? So this is a class contains contains instance methods. So using these methods, we are going to build the attachments. We are going to set the parameters of the attachment. Okay. So some of the methods: set a file name. Okay. It's a getter setter. It's a getter setter method. You can also, instead of file name, you can also go with a instead of a variable name, you can also go with the setter method also. Set file name. File name. Set body. Whenever you setting a body of the attachment, it's going to be a binary content only. Content type. So these are some of the important methods. Now you will set the attachments parameters using this class. Okay. Once this class is set, okay. So you create the instance, right? First, how will you do this? You create the instance. File one equal to new, like this. Then file one dot set the file name, like this. You will do set body. So when you create this, only one file you are attaching. Suppose you are going to attach multiple files, then it's going to be an array of email file attachment. We're going to repeat this, right? Repeat this for multiple files. File 2, right? Set the body. People follow this. I just given an example. It's not a complete example. Okay, we're going to see the demo soon. So like this, I set, okay, I attaching two files now. So now create an array, right? So now what do I have to do? I have to build this array. I have to build this array. So build this array, new file 1, file 2. So two files I'm attaching, okay, as per this example. Once this is done, then what are you going to do? You're going to pass that as an argument to this method. Once you are done, we're going to pass this as an argument to this method. That's it. Okay, so before you push the email to the queue, using send email message, you will follow this step to build your attachment. Okay, people follow this. So what is the first step? I put it in other order. The first step is using the methods belongs to the email file attachments. You build these attachments. Then step two, using the method of single email message, you are going to pass the emails, right? Whatever you build as an argument to the set file attachment. Then you are going to push the email to the queue. That's it. Okay. Basically, it has only two steps. Okay. You are going to build the array of email file attachment by using the the setter methods. You're going to build the file name, content, everything. Okay. How many files you are going to attach? So those files, those many instances you create, and pass those array in the form of array to the set file attachments. This is basically instance methods of your single email message. That's it. So before you push the email to the queue, you are going to build this. People clear with this? Everyone is clear with this? Right. How we are going to build the attachments, the body? What file I can, what type of a file I can send as a attachments? What type of file I can send as an attachments? You can send a Visualforce page as an attachment. You can also send Visualforce page as an attachment. Okay, so some page I have. So this is a page I would like to send as an attachment. What is the name of the page? Customer help page. Listen here how I'm going to send. How to create? First, I'm creating the instance of the page. How will you create an instance of the page? Page reference. Okay. Right. So I can create in this format as well. Slash apex slash, what is the page name? A customer help page. Like this. Or in short form, you can also create an instance in other form as well. Okay. Or page dot, the page name directly will be customer help page. So now the instance is created. Once instance is created, okay, I would like to convert this as a PDF. So the page reference as a method, to get the content of the method is content as PDF, right? Okay, content as PDF. Right now, the instance, okay, which is nothing but is pointing to this page. Now the content will convert it as a PDF. So what is the return type of the PDF? The return type of the PDF is always going to be a blob format. Now the body is in the form of PDF. Which one? Which content? This content will be in the form of PDF. Now I got the PDF. Okay. So now I am going to set the file attachment. So how I'm going to set the file attachment? So this format. All right. Any file name you can set here. Customer help PDF or something. Just a file name I set. Right. With the extension I'm setting here. And then what is the body? This is what I'm going to pass here. That's it. So just I setting up one attachment. So now I take an example how to send Visualforce page content as an attachment. So I take the instance of the Visualforce page, convert the content as a PDF by using an instance methods belongs to page reference class, and that returns a content in the blob format, right? So then I am building the file. You know, like how to send the attachment, right? So first we have to build the array of email file attachments. So I just created one instance now. Right? Like that, you create. If you're going to send more files, then you're going to create those many instances. Then you create this array. And pass this array as an argument to your single email message instance. Email one dot send file attachments method. Okay, that array will pass. Then you'll push the email to the queue. The attachment will be sent. You'll follow this. So I'm not touching any other things. It's same only. Okay, I'm just changing the content alone. Okay, just a file is attached. Right. So what is the step we are going to introduce here as a step 3? So before you build the email instance, right? We are going to include this. We'll follow this. Take the reference PDF, and then we're going to build the list or array, whatever, a list or array. Files equal to new. So I'm just making only one file now. Once it is done, okay, once it is done, email one dot set file attachments. So what is expecting? Files. That's already we built it, right? It can be list or array, whatever we built. So that now it is done. Okay, what is the issue here? Invalid email file attachment. Oh, right. Okay, so we forgot the namespace. All right, namespace is important. Okay, is done now. So it became 5 and became 6. Right, hope I'm clear. Okay, now we just test this. So I received the email, test for file attachment. So this is a form of a PDF. People go to this. All of you go to this example. So let's quickly walk through some of the other other type of file you can attach. Okay, so we have seen how to send attachment, a via Visual Force page as a PDF attachment, right? So this example showing, for example, I'm going to send an attachments for say account page. Okay, so this page, go with a different one. Okay, standard controller page. Yeah, so that, yes, this is a page I would like to send, as a PDF. So this requires an ID, right? This requires an ID at the URL. Now it doesn't have any data, but if we pass ID at the URL, then we'll able to send this. Am I right? If we have ID at the URL, okay. So I pass ID. So I get the data. Okay. So this ID I have to pass the ID of University Arizona, account I have to pass. So how we are going to build this, now to convert that as a PDF. See here, we select the an account where name equal to, we get the ID, the first occurrence I get, and this our ID now. Then what is the page name? The page name is basically standard account page demo 1. So that is a page I'm creating instance. Once the instance is created, then I am setting the parameter. How we are going to set the parameter? There is an instance method get parameters dot put ID, and we are passing a string acc.id. Okay, ac.id. So basically, no, this always, the argument always accept the string only. People follow this. The put method, you're going to pass name, a query string id, and the value, name comma value. So that's a format. Okay, so the name is a string, value is also a string, but we got acc dot is id, right? Is id parameter, so we convert that as a string here. That's it, typecasting. Okay, so you did this, then it's your then what will happen? The page will be replaced. The page we are also passing id. Okay, then we convert that as a PDF. That's it. So next to this, we are going to follow this similar process. What is the process? The one we have seen earlier, the example what we have seen earlier, to convert as a PDF. So get content as PDF. So this step needs to be followed with this. Okay, I request you to do this demo. So once you do that, you can do, okay, you can do like this. The convert will convert that as a PDF. Then we are going to continue the same process, the file attachment and all those things. Okay, similarly, now if you are passing multiple parameters, suppose I'm passing multiple parameters with ampersand, I can pass, right? If you go passing multiple parameters, and then you have to repeat this, get parameters put, you have to repeat, that's it. Finally you're going to build like this, right? Then again you are going to continue, get the content as a PDF, and then you attach by using email file attachment. That's it. Okay, right. This example showing you how to send attachments by using from the document. We know document, right? There is an object, standard object called document. So from the document, I need to send a document as an attachment. Whatever the document, whatever the format, it can be a text or image or a PDF format. So as it is, you get, if it is a PDF, I'm just setting the extension like this, and then you know by using the um, just an object, right? D dot body, D dot ID, like that. Even you have a name also, name field also. So D dot name also you can pass. Instead of passing the static name here, you can also go with D dot name also. It's an object, contains different field. Okay, people follow this. So that's what the example has shown here. How to send an email, how to send email with attachment. So attachments can be a Visualforce page or document, some sorts of different types of files that you can send as an attachments we are given here. We'll follow this. We'll proceed with how to send email based on email template. That's what you're going to see now. How to send email with help of email template. Okay, right. So based on email template, to whom you can send email. Based on email template, to whom you can send email. You can send email to lead, contact, user. To send email, you're going to send email to the lead, contact, user. Internal users, you're going to send email. Then you're going to use email template. Okay, email template is used to send email to the internal users. And how we are going to set email address? We are not going to use set to address in this case. Set to address, set BC address, set CC. We are going to use to send external email ID, right? Because we are going to build the email ID ourselves. We are going to build the email ID ourselves in the form of string. Set BCC address, set to address. We are going to build our email ID ourselves. But what about when you send email to the internal users, lead, contact, or user? We are going to use a method set target object ID. We are going to use a method set target object ID. Okay, so here we are going to pass the ID of either a lead or contact or user. Any of the record ID you are going to pass. Every object has an email field, right? Every object has a standard email field. Am I right? So that email field will be automatically taken as a to address, taken as an address to whom you are going to send email. We'll follow this. The set target object ID is a method belongs to single email message. It's a method belongs to set target object ID. So the ID of the contact, lead, or user to which email will be sent. So that ID you have to pass as an argument here. Okay, that ID you have to pass as an argument. And what about a set email template? Okay, target object ID. Right. Template name, to whom you are going to send, based on which template you are going to send the email, right? So template name has to do the email ID is returned. Okay. Right. See, let's see an example, then we'll understand this. I'll show you how to send email. So basically, two things you have to understand here. set target object id of the user. You're going to know user or lead or contact. So basically when you pass id of that particular record, that email field will be automatically referred here. Okay, so we are not going to set here to address or ccd address. So that email will be automatically taken from that record which id you are passing. Okay, right. And there is another field called set what id. So what is set what id? Your email content, your email template may have a merge field, right? The merge field in the format of braces colon object name dot field name. So that merge field will be replaced properly if you specify a contact for the target object id. You can specify optionally what id as well. This used to replace the content. Okay, replace the content with the proper value. Then what id is going to be what id is nothing but id of the id of the contact, specific contact. Okay, id of the contact. You can see here the what id can be of any of this field. Okay, account, company, campaign, case, contract, any of this id will pass as an argument. Sometimes the email content will have a merge fields belongs to any of these object. An account dot name, a case, right? Case dot subject, case dot status. So how that value will be replaced properly when you pass a id of the respective records to this field, to this method. Then the content, the record values will be properly replaced in the merge field. That's what you are going to set here. Set what id. Okay, we'll take a quick example. I just go with some email template. Okay, so I take email to new customer. So there is a email id. There is a email template which has some content, contact, account, okay, and user email. Some content is there. Sending email to the new customer. That's it. Okay, right. So what is the template name? Sales new email. Okay, so how we are going to do this? See, listen here. Okay, so this is an example. First, we select the email template. Right, no problem. Let me write an example now. Right. See here too, we're going to create an instance. So that is a step we follow. Next, select the email template. Right. So we are going to select the email template. Listen here. So this is what we are doing. Select id from email template where name is equal to single email message. Sorry, sales new customer email, right? So you can verify here in query editor. No, I'm not getting. I think it's developer name, I guess. Yes. So the field name is developer name. Okay. So developer name is storing the unique value of the email template name. So once I got this, so what you are doing now, we're going to set in the set email template email one dot set a template id. So et dot id. ID of the email template you have to pass. ID of the email template we have to pass. Step 3. Okay, to whom you are going to send email, right? To whom you are going to send email. Suppose I'm going to send email for the contact, whatever the account I'm going to create for the new account. Say for example, to this person I'm going to send um, okay email. So what, right? When you're sending email, to which ID you're going to send email? We're going to send email one dot set target object ID. So this going to be a ID of the this is going to be a ID of either a contact or lead or user. Okay, so you're going to set an ID of contact, lead or user. So in our case, I'm going to send to a contact, okay, where account dot name equal to this one. Right, so email one dot set target object ID. So what I will pass here, c dot id. So this part is done. So once it is done, then right, so the email template contains the merge field of account as well, right? Account as well. So when you like to properly replace those value merge fields with the right account record value, then we are going to set the what ID as well. Am I right? You will follow this. Select ID from account where name equal to set, okay, set what ID. So a dot ID, right? So next to this, we are going to follow this similar procedure. Okay, build the string and push the email to the queue. Right? Can you try this? Can try this example for a minute, 5 minutes break. Just try this and proceed with the next thing, next step, how to send email to the push the email to the queue. We'll follow this.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so till here it is, we just set the what ID and okay, where account name equal to limit, yeah, right? So what is the next step? So step 5 is nothing but build the emails, right? Build your emails, nothing but let me close this. Right, so this is a step you are going to follow. That's it. The last two step, right? Build the array of messaging dot email, then push the email to the queue. That's it. Okay. So I repeat here. We just set the email template. So choose email template based on developer name, which is going to store the unique name of your email template, and set the target object ID. So how many IDs you can set? You can only send email only to one contact, right? The email ID of the contact, the email ID of the contact. Suppose I'm going to send email to this. So what is the email ID? Okay, so email ID, I just change it to my email ID, right? So to this email ID, the email will be sent. Okay, based on the target object ID. To which is the target object? That ID, record ID, that email will be automatically taken. Okay, so what ID you can set here? You can only set ID for your contact, lead, or user. Internal user. I'm going to send email to the internal user. Okay, and the email template as merge fields belongs to account object. So we are going to set a what ID. What IDs can be your account or any of the object which are supported by the what ID parameter, right? We already seen that. So these are the any of these ID you can pass. If your email has that merge fields, then you are going to push the email. That's it. Okay. So I'm supposed to get email to my. So I think everything is properly replaced. Everything is properly replaced. Yes. Okay. So if you see your email template, the contact, okay, and the account name. Sorry, I'm just seeing other. Right. I believe the email ID what I sent is VK Ranjit Krishnan, right? So, was this spam or what? No, not it. Right. Just wait for a few minutes. We'll see whether email is I received or not. It sometimes takes time. I just continue with the notes. Okay, just continue with the notes now. How to send email now with the help of mass email message. the mass email message has more limits. Okay, to how many users you can send email. Okay, this class is used to send email to the internal users, contacts, users, and leads, and you can send maximum up to 250 users in a single instance. Okay, in the case of your single email, it's going to be 150, right? We have seen the limits in single email message is going to be 150, but here we can send email to 250 email address. Mass email message. Okay, the limits is not given here. Yes, the 250. Okay, the 250 address you can send email. Got me? Right. So we are going to pass these IDs, right? The IDs that you are going to set is not going to be just ID. It's going to be a target object IDs. In the case of your single email message, what's the difference? Single email message will accept only one target object ID, only one ID. So it means only one contact you can send in one instance. To send maximum, how many instances you can build here? 150. Suppose I'm going to send 100 emails, with to different email ID. Then you have to go with 100 different email one single email instance you have to create. But what about here? I can pass a list of a 250 email address to the set target object IDs. Is going to accept the list of ID, and whereas the single email message is going to accept only ID. That's it. It's going to accept list of ID in the case of mass email message. Okay. So the template, based on the template, I can send email in one instance, 250 email address I can send. So that's the difference between your mass and single email. Okay. In one instance in single email message, 150 users you can send email. Mass email, 250 email address you can send email. Other process is going to be same. The other process is going to be same. Okay. You just take the email template. Okay. Pass the ID of the template to this. So this is going to be a developer name. Okay. And then you pass the list of IDs here. So before you get the list of IDs, see here how you get the list. I would like to send email to all the leads, more than one lead. I would like to send email to more than one lead. Then you are going to get the lead. Okay, get the lead and build the ID of the lead IDs. Then that list of IDs you are going to pass as an argument to target object IDs. And then is as usual you are going to push the email to the queue. Okay, so this is a trigger part. We'll discuss later. Okay, so what is the difference actually? So this was old limit actually. 100 was the old limit. Then increased to 150, 250. Okay, and we pass template ID. Again, you also pass template ID only. It's not a difference actually. Yes, here one ID you are passing. You are going to pass multiple IDs here, and using single email message, I can send email based on text, HTML, and Visualforce template. Visualforce template you learn under a development part. Okay, it means down the line we'll see later how to send email. In the project discussion, I'll show you how to send email using Visualforce template. Visualforce template cannot be used in the mass email message. The difference is 150 total in single instance, 250, one target object ID, multiple target object ID, and email template can be of any type. Visualforce template cannot be supported here. Okay, and how many emails I can send to external users per day? 5,000 emails per day. 5,000 emails per day. And how many number of send email message method I can use in one transaction? Maximum 10. Maximum 10. Okay, see, this is my one instance, right? This is my one instance. Okay, suppose I'm going to build a different content, then I have to use no, if I'm going to use a different send email message method, then how many send email method I can use? Maximum 10 in one transaction. Okay, in one transaction, maximum 10 send email message method I can use. And what are the limits in the inbound email? How many emails you can receive in one day? It's going to be maximum 1 lakh, maximum 1 lakh. Okay, if I have 10 user license, for example, 10 Salesforce user license, Salesforce license into 1000 is going to be the the limit that you'll have in your org, and that should not exceed more than 1 lakh. That should not exceed more than 1 lakh. Okay, so maximum 1 lakh emails you can receive in a day in your org. Inbound email limits, outbound email limits. See the two limits. I just give you some brief limits about the outbound and inbound email limits here. When you exceed the limit, what will happen? The limit exception will occur. In it's okay. The limits whatever given is not for your developer edition. A developer edition has very low, very less limit. Okay, a developer edition has very less limit. When you exceed the limit, there will be exception called single email limit exceeded exception will occur. Okay, right. So daily limit you'll see here 5,000 emails per day. 5,000 emails per day. Limit name is maximum single email message limits. Okay. Yeah. You just go through the one place to understand the limits. Okay. Right. How many emails you can send external users? 5,000 external email address per day. See, there is no limit to send email to the internal users. Make sure there is no limit to send emails to the internal users. We have a limit to send emails to the external users. So what is the limit? 5,000 email address per day. Okay, and okay, not every limit is need to be remembered. Some of the limits, right? Right. Maximum email message process. Inbound email service. What is the limit inbound email service? A number of user license multiplied by 1000. Suppose I have 20 user license, 20 into 1000. 20 into 1000, right? So 20,000 is going to be a limit. But what is the maximum? You can go till 10 lakhs emails, not 1 lakh, 10 lakhs emails, right? It's going to be 10 lakhs emails. So maximum 10 lakhs, but it's multiplied by number of license by 1000. So the but maximum is going to be a 10 lakhs emails per day. A Salesforce can receive. It's the inbound email limit. Inbound email. What is the external? 5,000 emails per day. Inbound, a number of license multiplied by 1000, and sending email to the external users outbound 5,000 emails per day. That's the two limit you can remember. Okay, and there is no limit for to send email to the internal users, your contact, lead, users. There is no limit. Okay, there is no limit will be calculated. Right. People have any question on this? See, we need not make it more complicated. Okay, the simple way to uh, remember the emails. Okay, we have inbound, outbound. So what is inbound? Inbound basically, your class must implement the interface called messaging.inbound email handler. Am I right? Your class must implement the interface called inbound email handler, and it has a methods. It has a method, handle inbound email, which has two argument. So basically, it is your Apex class. So using the object email envelope, we are going to process the email. Which email are going to process? We are going to generate the email service, right? So whatever the emails received in this email service, automatically this class will be fired. This class will be invoked. Okay. So when you create email service, you're going to choose this class to create the email service, right? So then automatically this will will set the relationship. Whenever a customer send email to the email address you are going to generate, this class will fire, and the content will be processed. Okay, right? That's what you see. Your outbound email is nothing but we can use two classes, single email, mass email classes, to send email to the external users. Okay, and each of these class has its own method to set the email parameters, the address, subject, content, everything. Okay, to set email to the external users. So maximum how many email address you can, you can use. Maximum is 150 basically. This limit needs to be changed. 150, 150, and maximum allowed is 150. Altogether is also going to be 150 only. Am I right? Altogether is going to be 150 only. And what is the procedure? You set it, and then you create an array of messaging.email, then pass that array to an argument to the send email message. That's it, method, right? And how to send attachments you have seen. And email can also be sent based on email template. To do that, we have to set an ID to the set template ID. Okay, set template ID, you have to pass ID of the template. So that's what you are seeing here. And using single email message, I can only set one target object ID. And using mass email message, I can set target object IDs. I can send list of IDs I can pass. So compared to single email message, in one single instance of mass email, I can send email to 250 users. That's the difference. And mass email message, I cannot use Visualforce template, but in single email message, I can use Visualforce template. And to external users, maximum 5,000 users I can send email. In the case of your mass email, I can only send email to, sorry, in the case of mass email, the limit is, sorry, inbound email, the limit is maximum 10 lakhs or multiplied by number of license with 1,000. So those are the limits you need to understand here. Okay, we'll follow this. And regarding the certification, right? Someone, I think Lakshmi asked me. Yeah, regarding certification, listen here. I think some of you are preparing for your certifications. Okay, I hope you got frequently asked some questions from Capture Info. Am I right? For admin, I'm talking about. Have you received some of the questions?
Send us email
Right.
dump for like summer and spring and things like that.
This conference will now be
Dev notes, dev
recorded.
notes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks to all of you. Take care.